from the creator of Salmon Cat.
Man, I'm blown out. All right. Is that better? That looks better. All right, so all right, cool. Lighting would be great. There we go. All right. Let's actually, whoops, hey, what's up? I'm going to stop that. Sorry, new at this, just going to quickly do this. I'll just be a second. Okay. I think it's almost there. Great. Okay. We are live. Great. All right. So, for those of you guys that don't know, I'm sure there's no one in the chat room yet. I'm sure people will be joining later. But I am Nate Yell. I am a level designer on the Sword Coast team over at Endspace in Orlando, Florida. I worked primarily on the single-player / co-op campaign. So the DM mode stuff is like a completely different game for me. It's really cool to see it coming along in the past couple of years. But I just started making my first module last night before we shipped out this build live for the beta. So you guys can just watch me fool around with this. I'm sure there's other people on the streams that probably more experience than I do in DM mode, but all I've seen is just from what Ash and from what the other DM designers have been working on. We worked primarily in Unity 5 to edit the single-player campaign or the co-op campaign. So I'm more familiar with that tool set. The DM tool set's different. It's all much more streamlined and just quicker to add more casual stuff, obviously, that comes with at the cost of having less control than we do in the Unity engine. But that's just natural. That's just how that stuff works. In the future, we definitely want to add more functionality, the same amount of functionality that we have as designers in Unity 5 that players can have inside the Dungeon Master set. So, yeah, I started working on this last night. This over here is Mary Jane, and Doc Ock is go and try to fight her when the players spawn in. The goal of the game is for the player to get to Uncle Ben. Actually, I'm gonna lower volume a little bit. Mostly the music. Okay. So, mostly, sorry, let me just refresh this real quick. Duh. Cool. Okay. Where was I? Oh yeah, so the goal of the game is to get to Mary Jane, rescue her, and then you gotta go help out Uncle Ben, who is over here. And then eventually you might meet your friendly neighborhood superhero in the sewers. So right now, I'm working mostly on the quest stuff. If I don't talk a lot, I'm sorry. It's because I'm not really talking to anybody. I shall be right back. Alright. For reals. Here we go. Alright. So, what I'm actually gonna do is I'm gonna test this real quick on my own to make sure that this quest works. And if there's any like weird stuff that I'll need to fix. Yeah, thanks man, I appreciate it. Alright, so this is gonna be super boring. I'm just gonna run through an untested campaign that I quickly made in like a couple hours and seeing if it works the way that I expect. So let's see, let's make a new campaign with the stuff that I made. And I'm just gonna blaze through it. I'm just gonna God mode through, make sure that all these flags, all these quest flags are being set the way that I expect them to. If you have any questions about the game, feel free to ask me. I'll try my best to answer them without getting fired. Alright. So Mary Jane's gonna help me out over here. So I'm level 10, Doc Ock is level 11 because I said that he's a +1 level than myself. I'm just gonna kill him real quick. It's not something I need to fix. My quest updated. It's just the default. The objective is just the default quest updated. If you don't change your objective name, that's what it'll say. It'll just say quest updated. And I wanted to say speak to Uncle Ben, who is all the way over her. So that's the first thing I need to fix. So I wonder if, actually with developer cheats, I wonder if I can just, yeah, that's right, developer cheats. There we go. Yeah! Switch back and forth between the player and the DM mode. Oh right, but this is just live DM mode. This is not creation. Alright. Yeah, let's go back. Let's go back and make sure I got that working. Let's see. Create. That. Great. Alright. So, I mess up at some point with that quest. This guy. I want to edit this guy. So Mary Jane gives it to you. Next. Ah, that's why it's broken. Okay, because I say I want Spider-Man to be next step. I actually want Uncle Ben to be the next step. So, I'm gonna remove this. I actually want... Yeah, before you speak to Uncle Ben, there's actually a mini-boss there that I want you to kill first. So let's do that. Cool, this guy. So this is a little mini-boss, and I want him to die before you speak to Uncle Ben. So I'm gonna make him a quest action. This is my quest. I wanted to update the quest when you kill this thing. Let's see, the objective name, what I want to pop up, I want to say, not defend Uncle Ben, but, protect Uncle Ben, save Uncle Ben from the goons? Yeah, let's just say that. Save Uncle Ben from the goons. Goons is capitalized. So now if I go to my quests, I edit it, it'd be like, yo man, yeah, that's right, cool, alright. And it'll complete when you speak to Uncle Ben, and then it'll unlock the sewer dungeon, which is where Spider-Man is. Okay, cool. Yeah, so that should work the way I want it to. We can test that, but first, I want to work on this. Okay, so this is non-read. This is for the quest when you're inside the sewer dungeon. Let's see. No, so this. Okay, so that starts there. Okay. Yeah, so I worked on the single player or co-op campaign of Sword Coast. DM mode was another team, so I'm like fresh to all this, just like all the other streamers are. So I'm gonna look like a complete idiot just going through all these menus. Yeah, so there's obviously a ton of spells in the D&D world. We want to put the ones that we could get into the game for launch, because obviously every spell requires its own particle effect, and we're about a 50-man team. So what's in there is what's in there at launch, but I'd say I'd be very surprised if we didn't add more stuff later. Same goes for monsters. Same goes for everything. We're planning on adding a lot of stuff after launch. Okay, so what was I doing? Quests. Right, so I want this quest on complete. Gives you access to the sewers.